Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the KGC show. Today, I am joined by an incredible artist. She's from a small town in the UK, and we're going to talk to us. So we're going to have her talk to us a little bit about that. And she's now, well, we'll get where she's calling us from here in a second. I want you guys to make one of my friends welcome, Miss B. Smith. B, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Where are you calling us from today?
So I'm from a small town called Preston, um, and it's about 40 minutes from Manchester. I know some people might have heard of Manchester over there, Manchester United, the football team. So it's not far from there, but it's not as big as Manchester.
But you're resigned in Louisiana today, right?
No, not the moment. So I'm coming out to Louisiana in July.
Oh, well, we can't wait to have you out there. So you're calling us from the UK.
Yep, from the UK the minute, yeah. Yeah.
What time is it out there?
So it's 7:30 p.m. here.
Mhm. Well,
What have you got there?
11:36 a.m.
Oh gosh, yeah, it's almost bedtime for me.
Well, B, you're an amazing singer-songwriter, and I want to talk to you a little bit about your career and some of the songs that you wrote. But before we get into all that, how did you get into music yourself?
Um, I mean, I think I've always loved to sing, always. And growing up, I kind of did it in secret. It was kind of like my thing. Um, I was always a bit shy about it. Um, and then I suppose as a teenager, I kind of explored it a little bit more. Unfortunately, my family had the viewpoint of singing isn't a real job. So I wasn't really allowed to pursue it as a career. So I had to go down like the journalism route and go into writing and things. But I always wanted to do that. And then I worked in mental health for a long time, but I was always singing around that. Um, so it was probably about maybe just over 10 years ago now, I started to sing, um, out in bars and things, but there wasn't a audience for country music here in the UK at that time, frustratingly for me. And as much as I loved being out and performing, the stuff that I was doing wasn't really what I wanted to do. So I became a mom and I took a break. And literally, this time last year or January last year, I made a promise to myself and said it's now or never. Um, Picked up my guitar again and here I am talking to you. So yeah, it's been a crazy year. Definitely a crazy year.
Yeah. You started writing songs at 16. Can you talk to us a little bit about what you were writing about at 16 years old?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think it was kind of the usual teenage angst kind of stuff, first breakups, first broken heart and things. Um, but a lot of that was, which I'm sure we'll lead on to in a minute, was uh, growing up without a father figure. Um, I kind of I had nowhere to sort of channel those questions. So writing actually happened for me a lot younger than that. But it was poetry really. And then it turned into kind of song form, 16, 17 years old. Um, and yeah, and it was kind of just it was getting feelings out on paper, and that's to me that's what it's all about. So that's kind of where it came from.
Yeah. And who were you inspired by as a 16-year-old kid growing up?
I think at the time, um, Jules' songwriting, I loved her kind of storytelling. Um, and Joni Mitchell, definitely, I love Joni Mitchell. There was a lot of them, Eva Cassidy especially. Um, there was a lot. I mean, even from a young kid, when my mum would go out, we'd have her old record player, and we had like Michael Jackson on vinyl, the Beatles on vinyl, the Carpenters on vinyl. We'd have had a Lionel Richie on vinyl as well, I think. And that's what all I used to do was like, she'd go out and I'd just put the vinyls on and just sit and enjoy the music. So I kind of grew up with quite an eclectic range of influences, really.
Yeah. So you have a new song coming out, or is it just come out?
Little Girl's Heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was released 2 weeks ago. So yeah, 20th of Jan it came out.
Well, congratulations on it. And
Thank
I
you.
have listened to it, but I listened to the EPK or the
Mm,
version on the email. So,
yeah.
but your new song Little Girl's Heart is out, and can you talk to us a little bit about what that song is about?
Yeah, so it's about growing up um, without a father figure and being left as a 6-year-old girl and kind of it's the stereotype of the father-daughter relationship but turned on its head. It's saying like one thing daddies ain't supposed to do, they ain't supposed to break the little girl's heart, and that's what it's about. Unfortunately, that was my experience of a father figure, and I wasn't intending on that being my first single, but when I was writing, I co-wrote this with Nick Sagar, and we were talking about all different, topics and things that we wanted to write about, and that it just came very organically. And I thought, oh, something's telling me I need to get this out there at this time. So it was very therapeutic, actually. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I think, sorry, go on.
go ahead.
I was going to say, I think growing up and listening to country music as well, especially, I never really heard a song like that. It seemed to be in country music that father figures it was a very positive thing. It was, daddy's boots are hard to fill, and daddy's going to walk me down the aisle. And I had literally the opposite experience of that. So I wanted to write about that and kind of put that out there for all those people that have had that same experience. So
Yeah. And I bet a lot of people can relate to it, and thank you for being a lot of voices for a lot of people, because
thank you.
that's a voice for a lot of people who don't
Yeah,
have a father and can relate to that song. So thank you for it.
yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
What does it mean in the past 2 weeks that it's been out? Have you been receiving messages about what it's done for people? And if so, how does that affect you as a songwriter?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you write a song, because especially when it's something so personal like that, I think sometimes you kind of underestimate the impact that that song will have. And there's people being quite close to me actually, and their children are going through something very similar. Um, and I feel really proud that they can have something that they can relate to, because I wish I kind of had that when I was growing up, to kind of, you know, it's a sad song, but it's got hope at the end of it. And I kind of wish that I'd have had that growing up, to think, well, maybe it's not so bad, because when you're going through it, it sucks. um, so yeah, I think I was really proud that I'm sad that people can relate to it, because it's not nice. Um, but I'm happy that they have that and they can resonate with it, because that's what it's all about. It's about connecting with people. So I'm so glad that it's done that in the way that I intended it to. So
Yeah. Can you talk to us a little bit about growing up in a small town in the UK and what kind of influence does that have in your music as well?
oh, well, so I always say there's a song by Ashley McBryde, and it's called Girl Going Nowhere. I don't know if you're familiar with that song. And when I
Yeah.
first heard that, I thought, oh my gosh, like I resonate with that song a lot. So I think kind of growing up in a family where singing wasn't kind of seen as a real job, and also being from a small town, that I think it's one of those places, and I've had this said to me as well when I've been out and performing and stuff. People can be quite negative, and they'll be like, "Well, you think this is going to work, or you think that you're going to be the next big thing, or you think, And I'm like, listen, I'm just making music. Like, I'm doing what I love to do. So, it is what it is. And it's challenging, but I think I'm the kind of person that likes a fire in my belly to just keep going. So any negative stuff that I'm quite a positive person. So any negative kind of comments or anything I get, I'm like, I'll prove you wrong. So
So,
yeah.
so would you say that the negative comments that, you know, since everybody's not going to be a fan of what you do, I know because I have some of those as well. But do those kind of motivate you to do better?
Oh, hugely. Yeah. Yeah. It does for me. I think that's my kind of mindset on things is it does just make me want to prove people wrong. I have had a lot of support as well from people around me. I don't want to paint the picture that people haven't been supportive because they absolutely have. But you get the odd one or two, and I think it's human nature to kind of you could have 100 people tell you something amazing, and then one person makes a negative comment, and you kind of listen to that one comment. So I kind of rather than dwell on it, I use it to make me do better or try harder or work harder. So
Yeah.
I'll try and keep it positive.
Yeah. Hey, you're signed with Buckshot Records right now. Can you talk to us a little bit about what their encouragement and what they believe in you and what that means to you?
Oh God, it's massive. I think when I first started talking to them, first of all, when I first got the message and they contacted me and said, "Are you looking for a label?" I was like, "Is this legit?" Like, is this real? And then my second question was, "Do they know that I'm in the UK? Like, is this really happening?" They've just been absolutely wonderful. Like they feel like family already. We've not physically met, we've FaceTime loads and stuff. And yeah, I think their belief in me makes me work harder. So yeah, they're brilliant. They're so supportive. I've looked out there really.
Yeah. And I understand that you're in July coming out here for some shows.
I am indeed, yeah. So July the 5th, I think, is my first one. I'm playing at Tailgates and Tan Lines Music Festival I have to say this right, in Louisiana, because I say Louisiana and I get told off for not saying that right. um, so yeah, I think I'm there until the beginning of August, so probably about 6 weeks. So we're looking at traveling around and filling some dates. So yeah, we need to just get those venues confirmed, and we'll be releasing that shortly. So I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Well, I'm so excited for you, and I know it's going to be a successful tour. I
Thank
promise
you.
you guys, if you guys have not checked out B Smith on Facebook, I encourage you guys to do so. Is there a
Thank you.
song that you're most excited for people to hear?
Yes, there's two that I'm really excited about, but I'm not going to say any more yet. You have to wait
Okay.
and see.
Okay. Hope
Yeah.
she'll come back here and talk to us about it on the
Oh,
show, hopefully.
absolutely. I'd love to. Yeah, yeah, anytime. Yeah.
And hopefully she'll play for us some of those songs later.
Yeah, yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, that'd be great.
What advice was given to you that you still use today?
Oh gosh. I think the main one is follow your heart. That's something that I have always done, no matter what scenario it is, and trust your gut as well. Um, it's not done me wrong yet, so yeah, it's worth it. I think it's working for me, so I'm trusting in it.
What's the joy for you in music today?
I think just being able to have an avenue to express yourself. I'm a creative, so I always knew that I was supposed to be doing something creative. Singing was always my calling. And I'm just so grateful that I've got the opportunity to actually do it now and do it for real and call it a job. So yeah, I think it's just amazing. I'm very, very lucky that I'm in the position where I can do what I want to do for a living because it doesn't feel like work to me. It's what my soul wants to do. So I'm really blessed to be able to do that.
What are your besides the tour and new music, hopefully in 2025? What else can fans expect from you?
Oh, I mean, hopefully some music videos as well. And And I think I'm just excited to get to know them and connect with them. And, it's when I'm out and about, I'd love to be able to meet as many people as I can. Shows that I've had already, which is really nice. And it's surreal actually, because I've got people that will follow me from event to event, which is so nice. And it's just really nice seeing those familiar faces and speaking to people after shows and hearing how, a performance has impacted them, for example. So like when I've done a cover of a song in the past and someone has commented and said, that brought me to tears, or it was, a funeral song of a member of their family and stuff. And it's just, that music is so powerful. And that's what I love about this most, is just connecting with all the different stories and backgrounds. And, I love it.
Mm. And I got a few more questions before we do a rapid fire question Q&A. You want to finish it out with it?
Yeah.
But where can people keep up with you?
So mainly on the socials. So on Facebook, I'm quite new to Instagram, so I need to up my Instagram game. I prefer Facebook. I've always used Facebook. So Instagram, I'll say I am on TikTok as well. But my website is bsmithmusic.com. So there's always updates on there. There's like merchandise and show details and stuff like that. Details of the tour will be on there as well. So yeah.
Well, make sure you guys go and the last question I have before our rapid fire is, will you come back on the show and promote the new music?
I would love to. Yeah, anytime.
You're the best. You're one of my favorite artists and I say this every show because every artist is my favorite, but
Yeah.
There's just something so special about you and your sound, and like what I told you before the interview, and I'll say it on camera because it needs to be said on camera. We're looking at the next young thing, yes, next big thing in music today. And
thank you.
I feel it just with this interview, and so I trust great things are going to happen for you in your career.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Well, you're very welcome. How about we end it with a little rapid fire?
Go on.
What's your favorite song?
Oh gosh. Favorite song, let me think. Ashley Monroe, There You Are, at the moment.
There you go. What's your favorite movie?
The Notebook.
Favorite TV show?
Don't judge me on that. You were judging me on that one.
No. No. Your favorite TV show?
Oh, Yellowstone. Love it.
Oh.
Yeah. Or Schitt's Creek. Oh, I don't know. They're both amazing. Yellowstone.
Both of them work for me. I watch both of those nightly, so.
Do you? That's so good.
I love Yellowstone.
Yeah.
I could watch that all day long.
Yeah.
Favorite book?
Awesome. Say again, sorry.
Favorite book?
Favorite book? Oh. I think I'm going to come back to you on that one.
Okay.
Because I can picture it. Oh, it's called The Island. Right, it's called The Island. Yeah, I can't remember the author though. Sorry.
Okay. I'll link to it in the description.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you want to be remembered by when you're long and gone in 86 years?
Musically or personally?
Personally.
Being an amazing mum. That's what I want. Being the best mum to my daughter. Yeah.
You're an amazing person, so I already know that's true.
Oh, thank you.
I appreciate you so much for being on the show, and come back anytime you need us. And ladies and gentlemen, you guys are looking at the next big thing in music today. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening or watching the KGC show. I'm gonna have a lot of edits to do. But thank you so much for watching the KGC show. We hope you had a great time, and we'll see you on the next one, whoever it might be. Thank you. We love you guys. Love one another, and we'll see you soon. Thank you, everybody.
Yoka Artianza Remix.